Game number 1 of our best of 5 finals in the Kung Fu Cup number 7. There's $1,500-ish prize pool overall for the top 8 players. About $400 first set, $200 second. Is about that right? Or is there a little bit more than that? $548 for first place and $274 for second. It really is a chunky cup, guys. It's really one of the best cups out there when it comes to prize money available to players on a weekly, regular weekly basis, essentially. So it really is a great cup to catch. It's a great cup to watch. It's a great cup to support and enjoy. In the bottom left, Solar is our red Zerg. In the top right, our blue Terran is Clem. Representing Team Liquid, of course, Solar represents Onside. As we get into map 1 of what is this best of 5 grand final. Clem going through max packs and hero and just having a solid day altogether, but mostly versus Protoss. See how his Zerg holds up against a Solar who has gone through beyond 2-0 today, Bunny easily as well. His EVT, quite frankly, looks incredible right now. And if that is the case, we could be in for a little bit of a treat heading into this best of 5. So we will see how this goes. Just got our Overlord to come across from the bottom left towards the upper right, so that's going to get a move along here in the first few moments. Just going to get that started straight away. Hatch, gas, spawning pool, all on the way up. It's going to be seeing again our Overlord just slowly making its way across the map here as we get ready to rumble for a few moments time. Let's just get that up and running. The Overlord about to get there, the SCV coming around. Again, the spawning pool's about halfway done. A couple of drones are coming out. So far, so good. Reaper, Command Center, Orbital. Obviously, high ground barracks. We're not going to be seeing multiple racks, Reapers, or anything. Not yet, at least. I would be surprised if we didn't see that at least once during the series, though. So, maybe something we can expect at a later point, for example. Again, a couple of Queens, the Fallings, all coming out. Bringing all of those through. The Overlord coming up as well, as we do see our factory just building from Clems. Again, that on the go. The Command Center's halfway through. And that Reaper's still just poking down to the bottom left. Again, a couple of Queens coming up. The hatchery is on its way. Reaper will drop down one more grenade, and the Lings continue to take some damage. So we just continue to fight. We continue to get going. And just having ourselves the Reaper continue to go. Again, just back and forth here, try and find a little bit of something. Start things off in these early stages. Queen gets over there, and the Reaper takes again one more shot against. Just gets pushed back pretty much immediately. See, the Reaper grenade is going to go off, and it's going to be a nice little connection to start us off on as well. So far, so good. There's going to be our starport coming in. Again, the order command coming about just for the moment. You see our Reaper still coming by too. And so far so good as we get ourselves settled. Let's have our Reaper take a couple more shots off those Queens. And again, the Cyclone's coming up. The starport's already coming by. The link speed is over halfway done at the moment. And those Cyclones, well, they are about to pop out of that factory. The starport already proxied from Clem, so he wants to get aggressive. What are we going to build off the starport? Tech Lab on the way? Is that on the starport? No, it's just going to be a Liberate on the starport. I thought it was for a moment because the SCV was next to it. No, the Tech Lab's on the barracks back at home. So it's going to be Cyclone Liberator. So just an aggressive set of options. Obviously, the Lib will arrive sooner than usual. Not a bad map if you can get the Lib between the natural and the third base, or just work it around the bottom of the map in general. Because you can obviously, if you fly in through here, you have the option to siege here or siege there. Both effective, or fly in here, and kind of the same move on the main and natural. The base layout is actually pretty nice for that Liberator to kind of pick and choose its target wherever there is a weaker Spore Crawler setup, for example. As we are going to find maybe an initial Overlord at nice and early. You know, the Overlord scouting through is just going to be seeing this look fairly standard apart from no third CC. The starport pops the Liberator, heads in towards a liftoff and back home. If the Queens are going to be used to fight against these Cyclones, this Liberator has a lot of potential. No spores right now. 6 Queens and 10 Lings. The only units on the map are going to go after another Overlord, and that Liberator sieged up is already going to get a few drones before we respond. Overlord goes down. Queen's utilizing some of their transfusions already. The egg's in range there as well. There's still no spores on the way. The Queens will take a turn and move towards that lib. This is where the Libra actually sieges up on top of another one of the Queens. I actually think I would have liked it to just unsiege and go to the third base instead, although we have used transfusions already, which means that the Liberator is able to pick off a couple Queens because they're out of transfuse. And so the Cyclones have absolutely done their job. Lings jump on the Hellion Cyclone Force, and they do okay, but not enough to stick around. And I really feel as though this opening from Clem is absolutely popping so far. Wow. Starport is going to float all the way back towards the upper right-hand side, all the way back into this main base. Lair, Baneling Nest still coming through. The additional drones are coming up still. Melee upgrades, drones, and the Queen continue to build right now as well. So far, so good. Just for the moment. Lings continue and then moving on around for a little bit longer. Couple Queens going to come about. Troop spread going in. Marines will come forward. The Cyclone, Hellions. And we'll get some pickoffs. Our CC is going to move across over here as well. He's going to go land down onto that low ground. So he's going to put that into place straight away. Again, the lag coming up. The Lings coming out. Melee upgrades on the way on both sides. 10 Banelings already just producing through. Obviously, after you've taken some damage initially here as Solar, it's going to become pretty important for you to kind of, you know, really bounce back quickly and say, okay, enough of all that. You know, let's get back down to business here. You know, let's get back into what it really means to be playing this game, and that is you're going to probably start now really attacking me. I need to be ready to greet those attacks. I need to be ready to deal with those, and that's what the Baneling count is obviously for. Just making sure that that's in as comfortable a place as it can be for these early stages. Oh, Clem moves around the left-hand side, so is on just a little bit of a journey then. So just figuring out where it is he wants to try and attack into at first. As you see, our Marine's going to stem up. Queens will take some damage. No Bane speed yet, so we have a few moments until that kicks in. 1-1's about to be done from Clem, so he'll be even on upgrades in just a moment. Widow Mine's obviously scary as well. Lings have to be careful. We try and split around. I think Clem retargeted the Widow Mines a couple times over, just to make sure they didn't go off on the initial Lings that Solar was prepped to split away. Again, as always, Clem doing cool things here in the TvZ as he continues to fight these Banelings. He's target fired a couple of them. As Bane speed finishes, that's probably the end of Clem's push. Don't think he has enough here to withstand Banelings that can genuinely close the distance on his units, and this is going to lift off even the Cyclone. He's going to go deeper into the base, though. He's going to dive into the main. So a beautiful punch on the top side, and then you just dive into the main. The Spore Crawler trying to relocate is going to go down, which is just nice guaranteed damage. If you want the Spore there, that's another drone that has to be built, plus some money spent. So yeah, just free damage. You pick that up as Clem. Should be very okay with that. Now more Marines coming through the center. You see a couple more of them. Crypt Tumors getting taken down. Cyclones will grab an Overlord. Marines getting even more creep over here. Widow Mine's going to go for Banelings all over the place. Widow Mine lands for an Overlord. Still some Ling Bane in the center. Marines will unload back on the right-hand side. 2-2 coming up. The Overlord speed come in. Hydra's Lings continuing out. Infestation Pit's about to finish. The Widow Mine shot is good for a bit more Ling Bane as well, as we just have ourselves a couple of Widow Mines going down. Again, Overlord speed's about to complete. Our 5 Banelings coming through. Drilling Claws in on the way. 2 upgrades on the way from the Terran player as well. It's just bringing all of that out as our bio continues across. Things will take some shots here. Queen will take some damage. Banes have to back it up. We do see the Ling Bane going to try and come back in again. Cyclone's lifting off. The Reaper will go down, however. I'm just going to be seeing a few more of these Marines unloading as a bit more creep gets knocked down. We'll load up one more time. We back it up at the left-hand side again. It's the Lurker Den. It's the Hive. It's all coming through. And Marines will go stemming forward. They are going to go jumping straight on top of them Queens. And this is just the Clem pressure that just doesn't end, right? He's been very good at just making sure his units are lifting up on time, not doing too much. I'm just doing a lot of things right now, as you have, however. I mean, still on the left-hand side, going to come through looking for a Queen. Going to get it. Thank you very much. Reload up once again. Gonna drop back down onto the main base. Two more Lings still going down. We're gonna get going once more. Lings and Hydra still coming across. The Spore Crawler still taking damage. Lings do clean up right there as our Marines come through for a few more of them Lings as well. Just gonna pick our way through that as we continue to produce and go and send it as we speak. I don't mind shot in that hatchery. Going down, just another victory here on this kind of the roll for Clem. I mean, we see Solar trying to get up to a couple of Vipers. You know, he's got tech on the way he'd love to be able to utilize, but it's just so tough to really get there as the Ghost Academy builds. A couple of Libs are coming out. Marine Marauder still on the way. The +1 vehicle plating coming through. All of that still getting established. Obviously, with the Ghost Academy, Clem really will have just again better options continuing on from here. Widow Mine's hitting. Few more Lings going down. Another Widow Mine aims, takes fire, and shoots. Nicely done. Massive connection there on the rest of them Lings. Fire continues through. We got the Banelings still coming about. Widow Mines not going off just yet. Clem is still just maxed out, by the way. Just completely set. Two more Banes coming through. Just going to be seeing that Marine stimming up from behind. The Overseer will go down. A couple extra Banes dropping. And this does look as though Clem is going to be maxed out. Just continuing to push on forward. GG. As Clem takes the 1-0 lead in this best of 5. And is going to be off to a killer. In the bottom left-hand side, we are going to start off with the Red Zerg player. This is Solar, our GSL champion. On the top right, our Blue Terran player from Team Liquid. It's Clem. Game 2 of our best of 5. Clem just played a great game 1, good amount of pressure, not going too far. Going to proxy a barracks for game 2. Wow. So, he's going to proxy 1 barracks. That means the second Reaper will show up slightly sooner, and that will give you an opening to maybe grab a few workers you would not usually get. So, it's going to be pretty cool. Do 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 bow 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 bow. And a couple of Reapers just gonna get going. Just see our spawning pool coming up, getting this all on the way, getting everything ready for the first few moments. A couple of Reapers, a few Lings, and a couple of Queens. Ling speed coming up. All of this on the way. For the moment here. Reapers are going to dive in. Kind of like I say, maybe with this earlier Reaper, you're hoping to get a little bit more of an explosive start, but didn't really come to fruition. Clem is going to go to 4 Reapers total. Seems as though he's going to start setting up back at home. The disadvantage of that barracks on the map means that you are going to have just 1 barracks that's not going to become a reactor or the tech lab. In this case, probably the reactor. You need the tech lab to start stim usually, so Either way, it's going to be one add-on less and just less production for you in general from there on out. Just come back again. Drone's going to see that drone taking a little bit more damage. And you have the Reaper still fighting. Queen's taking some shots. The Ling's in good numbers. Close to Ling speed, so we're not far away from seeing that. Doing decently as a couple Queens join up. Creep spread will go down. The Reapers will go back into the center of the map, back to the upper right for the moment. So the Ling's, in high numbers, obviously now not being used because the Reapers have got away, and so that's obviously going to impact the worker count of Solar as well. So that's something else that comes into mind here. Bunker about to finish. Tech Lab coming through. We do have ourselves the couple of creep tumors coming up. Our drones and our queens all coming through as well. Let's just drop that barracks down onto the reactor so we just get that a-rolling. Cyclone's on the way out. I guess this is part of the plan from Clem, that he's not really been about the marine count. He's been more about, hey, I'm going to get some Hellions, then some Cyclones, and that's obviously different to what we usually expect with this build. So my complaint about obviously that barracks having to fly home is nullified by Clem's then continued choice, which obviously then just makes sense. It means that Clem has obviously thought about this. He knows what the approach he is going to take is. He clearly knows the stance he's going to take in this game, and that's why he's okay with proxying that cheeky little Rex. Evo chamber halfway done. We're going to see those double melee upgrades starting up soon from Solar. No Lyra or anything in sight, so there is going to be reliance on the double upgrades in the early stages. Clem starts up the armory. This is not looking good for Solar. If Clem is looking to set this up into a bit of a Hellbat attack with a couple Cyclones, then Stim Marines. There's so much power in this army of Clem right now. And Solar's going double upgrades that will not be here to help him with that, and that's the issue. He's not going to necessarily have anything to deal with this at all. He's got no Baling Nest. This could be a very quick game to victory for Clem if this attack goes correctly. And again, like I say, right now, it feels like we're heading right into the pathway of this being successful for Clem. Is just going to poke forward with these couple of Hellions. Is that an alarm bell at all for Solar? Starts a lair. That will also not be done to help him here. He has a few more Lings coming up, but realistically, he needs to keep on building them. We saw one drone start, he starts another. It's getting scarier as the Ling goes across the map, sees the third. Baling Nest starts right now. With more Lings on the way, feels as though Solar's starting to realize exactly, kind of the fact that he's in some trouble here. As these Hellions can morph into Hellbats, all these Marines will unload. This is so much DPS available for Clem. And Solar's units are just set up to kind of melt, man. And we see now units coming through, a couple of Queens taking damage, a lot of Lings going down. Well, like I say, those Lings are kind of designed to melt in this scenario. We'll stim again. Even just losing a lot of these Queens is painful as we do finally get through the Hellbats. It looks as though we're going to be at the point of going down from Clem. He gets rid of a lot more of the Lings, and after that wave of Lings goes down, maybe he can continue on the Queens a few moments longer. I thought Clem was about to be pushed away. He dives for one more Queen. That'll be the end of the attack. Loses 4 SCVs to a counterattack in the meantime. Resources lost will favor Clem slightly. Worker count is pretty okay. Just needs to stabilize on his third base, which is right now being attacked by Lings again. Good hold from Solar. I mean, he loses a lot of Queens, though. 7 Queens went down. Now he's only got 4 Queens left. That is going to impact him because he's either going to have to give up injects or creep spread. And those are both things, one way or another Clem can abuse further and deeper into this game if he keeps up macroing and microing. So it was a success from Clem. It may not have been a game-ending success, but I would still say it was a pretty good success, as our Lings are going to knock down a set of Roxy, a couple Widow Mines still producing through. Extra barracks coming up, that factory's still on the way. Widow Mines, Marines, and 1-1 just all continuing out. Hydrogen coming up. We're going to see our medevac coming in to drop, and the Widow Mines all going to get in here. A couple of those drones going down. 6 workers fall. Another Widow Mine shot there. Going to get a couple of Lings as well. If the Lings coming through, the Marines are going to be here. A lot of these lings continue to drop on down. That's a good moment from Clem. Cleans up the lings, doesn't take worker damage, does really well with the mine drop that's still active. And now he's going to catch some queens, going between bases. Didn't quite get enough damage on one queen to get a kill until just now. Second effort works out. The Widow Mines left there are going to blow up and then get cleaned up. Not much value on that one. This Widow Mine drop just still trying to find interesting directions to drop in. As we do come in on this side. And Bane lanes blow up. 1, 2, and 3 mines. Not a single one will connect. And Solar obviously knew he was going to be able to get there because he did not pull those drones away, but that was clearly on intention. And it was a well-calculated risk taken, because he was right. He did not have to pull the drones away. He was able to clean up all those mines before they burrowed. Overlord goes down, next Creep Tumor as well. Solar is supply blocked. That's the problem, is he does well in one location. Clem's already done well in 2 others. And I still feel as though Clem just has a bit of an edge on this game since the opener. Clem looking to take a hefty 2-0 lead, potentially, in this best of 5. Let's see if we can close it out. He's rallying across the map. He has got a 4th base already built. That can take position as he attacks during this one. And obviously look to benefit from that as we push on through. A couple creep tumors already going down. A lot more creep tumors continue to go down. Lane Bane still coming across. The Queen's still setting up. We have ourselves the 2 melee upgrades just finishing, and this army of Clem still just set here for the moment. Widow Mine still set up. Our Queen's going to transfuse each other. 5 is on the way. And again, a few drones, a bunch of lings all coming up. Lurker Den starting. Queen's going to go back around on that left-hand side. Marine's going to go knock down some rocks. Widow Mine is going to go after a few different lings once again. Widow Mine going to go after some Queens too. Drop a couple more Crypt Tumors down as we do go after more units up in the skies. Again, so far so good in terms of just keeping on dealing damage. When do you have the Marines on the right side going to go after the hatch? I'm now maxed. 4 bases, building up 3 more command centers, and the Ghost Academy controls this game. It doesn't need a necessary rush into finishing it, right? Just because you control it doesn't mean the game has to end right now. As that Widow Mine unburrow, does not get back in the medevac though, just a slight miss micro. Clem gonna work his way to the bottom base where there is an army of Solar waiting to meet him. And just come back across, our Marines are gonna stim it up. Bane Hydra backing away, our couple of Widow Mines will burrow. We have our army continuing to set as we do see the Ling Bane pushing through. Those Widow Mine shots doing very well across the board there. And the Ling Bane Hydra just continues on out. Another Widow Mine shot connects in to get a bunch of them Lings. Just maybe seen a few more medevacs being taken down as well. Still Hydra's pushing over. Widow Mines will burrow. Balins will crash into said Widow Mines, however. Take those out, take those down. Remove them from the equation. As again, the army of Clem pushed into the bottom right corner. Solar is stabilizing from the earlier stages. Solar can play a mean game once he gets up towards the Lurker Den, which is where he's at now. And a lot of the time, Solar's biggest challenge in this matchup is just getting to the point of the game we are now at. So, I'm Solar, I'm kind of loving it. I actually feel as though he's absolutely done what he needs to. Putting himself in a position now to see himself through to a later stage. And with Lurkers, anything is now kind of possible again for him. You know, like the entire kind of, pacing of this game changes. Like, the style of this game changes, quite frankly, when he's playing with these Lurkers compared to before. Ling Hydra will take a moment or two to knock down some rocks. Ling Bane Hydra elsewhere on the map, moving around as well. Gonna knock down some other rocks. So Bane's still coming over, the Hydra still get pushed back. Overseer overhead, Ling Bane Hydra continues through. Fire on the bottom right trying to push in. Solar's already split down here for the moment, though that fight looks okay for Clem, and he might be able to continue with it. Diving in once again, more of these Banes going back through the middle of the map. These Banes still diving up. Marine's taking a lot of damage. And Widow Mine's about to finish up right here. We'll see if they can do anything more very soon. As Link Hydra gets there, the Medivacs load, the Medivacs leave. No Medivacs on the top side going to be leaving at the same time, so they are all just going to back this up. +3 cap rate. It's already done from Solar. Clem's 3-3. A little later than maybe should have been, as obviously he was on a fine set of upgrades earlier, so just needs to make sure he keeps that going. Obviously, Soul again to his own +3 melee to make this fully 3-3 on 3-3. He's actually going to attack himself. Parasitic Bomb on the Medivacs. One Medivac has a bunch of units inside. 2, 3 Medivacs go down, and they weren't even the ones targeted. 5 Medivacs off that Parasitic Bomb. What an attack by Solar, as he just grabs himself 30 supply advantage, and now he might be able to just send it. The game that's being controlled by Clem suddenly has one big moment for Solar, and it might turn everything around as Clem has to back it up. Orbital already up in the skies. Baneling's working their way into the natural off to the left as well. And maybe Solar can't go all the way through to finish it up here, but that was a big moment for him. And again, the 5 Medivacs going down. Massive pain from Clem. That Viper with that Parasitic Bomb found insane value. The Medivacs are just so good to get rid of because it removes some of the Terran durability in the game, right? So it is so good to get rid of those. Let's see how Bio going to come back around, and we do see the Lingbane Hydra coming in again. The Viper coming forward as well. A couple more Widowmine shots going out. Medivac still once again struck by that Parasitic Bomb. Lingbane Hydra pushing through. Solar maxed out still against the 150 supply of Clem. It just does not look as though Clem's going to stabilize in the end. Clem definitely did so well for so long, but Solar finds his way. Like I say, usually when he gets to Lurkers, well, he never even used Lurkers here, right? He never even had to use them. He just found an opportunity off the Lingbane Hydra and now knows he's got the momentum to keep it going. The bank is set for him. And yeah, we are going to probably tie up unless Solar overcommits in. We see a few more Lings showing up. Widowmine's getting rid of some of the Hydras and Overseers. Ling's still just trying to be enough to kind of push this through to a finishing point. Clem will not die just yet. Will refuse to go down for a moment longer at least. Luck is continuing to come about. This one, you've seen advanced ballistics coming around. Advanced ballistics, Neo Steel Plate, and we do see the Widowmine landing for a couple of Lings. The Overseer overhead with the Lurkers. Changeling's going to get reset a little bit. Is continuing through. We do have our Bioforce starting to fight. A few Banes coming forward. Widowmine, big connection. It's kind of what Clem needs. A bit of time to settle, and then B, a big connection to kind of undo some things that Soul's been able to do. May give him, you know, a little bit more time. It's not like he doesn't have bases, not like he doesn't have economy. Clem was on the verge of falling down, but he is still kind of hanging on. Got a bit of a handhold to hang on with here. These Lurkers are causing some issues, but they're not closing the game out or anything. Gonna lose this base top side. That puts Clem down to 5 bases total as long as he defends on the bottom side, which he's trying to do. Running into the Lurkers, it just ain't quite it. He might clean these up, but I think he's lost too much. I was, yeah, like momentarily a believer again, right? Momentarily kind of looked at this and said, you know what? There's a chance if Solar doesn't get too much done on this attack. Clem pushes him back. You know, he was closing in on being maxed out once more, but it's just not quite happening. Solar doesn't quite get rid of this base, but now Clem, I mean, he's going to try and rebuild back up. Solar still has money for days. What's resources lost at? 35 to 30k. I mean, just look at the bases that Solar has. He really controls so much of the map, really controlling a lot of the bottom right-hand side that Clem cannot really control because, well, he's just got to sit back and play defense. Clem's going to try and deny that bottom right base as he will liberate her upper mineral line from Solar. Couple of Banes that are morphing in here get caught, and we're going to be seeing the Widowmine shot again and soften up the Ling count just a little bit. The more we do that, the better off he may still be here as Clem, as the Bio Army has to back away once more. Still seeing a Parasitic Bomb, laying waste to a Medivac, another Widowmine shot. coming down right there as well. More Widow Mines aiming, lots more Lings going down. Man, the chase from Solar is expensive. He's losing a lot in the process. Planetary kind of needs to survive from Clem. It will not. I feel like without with another base knocked down, he's going to be in some trouble. That said, Solar's spent all of his money and is not currently maxed out. It's probably the weakest we've seen Solar be. Of course, he still has 83 drones, so he's mining a lot, and he can absolutely survive off of just income. As we have Bio coming back through. The Ling's going to set up again. Widow Mine burrowing, but does not survive. Another Widow Mine shot for a good few Lings. The Ghost still firing in the end. We're going to lift up and just get out of there. Things got a little bit too hectic. Like I say, Clem's drained the bank account of Solar, but draining the bank account alone ain't going to do it here, right? Like, he still needs to be able to push through the rest of this, and that's the issue. As he drained the bank account, Clem's also struggled then to even get close to maxing out again, which was obviously maybe one of the big questions of whether you could do, that in the first place or not. Now we can see that it's very much so leaning towards the not quite side of things. That 5th base coming up from Clem. The Liberator is just going to siege up on this left side. We just got 11 drones. It's Widow Mines across a couple different mineral lines and a Liberator as well. So, we're getting some damage done. What a time to knock Solar's economy off. Because if you can knock his economy not necessarily off, but tune it down a tone or so, turn it down from 11, bring it back down to like 6 or 7, then it's that sort of point where maybe because Solar's not maxed out, he's not going to make as much of a bank now. Maybe this is where Clem can create something of an opportunity for himself again. Widow Mine not going to get activated there as the Bioforce kites back toward it, EMPing, but missing the Infestor. Obviously, a fungal growth could be really deadly right now. Widow Mines need to do some work on some of these Lings. They did okay. This one's going to be big. No, it does fire! From the grave, it shoots and scores a whole chunk of Lings. Backing it up. This is only an orbital command to the main base relocate. That's what Clem is at in terms of being desperate for any kind of economy. Pulls away, saves that Ghost. We still have that one Infestor looming forward. Liberators are going to begin to siege up and should actually be able to do okay. Again, expensive for Solar to chase through like this. The fungal on the SCVs, but they're not going to get cleaned out. My friends, we are equal on supplies. And like I say, Solar's economy has been tuned down a little bit, so because Clem's able to find another decent fight for himself, this is now a 9k resource loss difference, and Clem has got Solar's economy kind of on the cusp of his own. He may not have a ton of bases, Clem, but he's got enough bases to be competitive with what Solar's working off of. All these Banelings get cancelled or killed. Clem has a supply lead here. 21 minutes on Alkaini, and he is going to keep it going. Widow Mine gets shot down. Parasite bomb on the Liberator. Widow Mine not firing there. Finally, we get a couple shots off. Hydra count looking a little bit better than before. Bio going to try and fight it. Going to try and let the Liberators put some work on those Hydras. Then we have enough. Clem just going to back it up. He needs his reinforcements to appear. Losing a lot of the tech units. The Liberators going down. The Lib Sieges, another round of mines, and that's kind of what we've been missing out on. As the Marines lift up one more time, the Hydras turn back over to the right side. Widow Mines end up getting pushed away. Another couple Libs just will siege. 30 Lings, 2 Hydras, 2 Banes, the Infestor all coming out. Another fungal growth land. Liberators are going to fire it up. A lot of Lings taking a lot of damage. The Infestor going down as well. Liberators continuing to siege here. Clem's supply is dropping, but honestly, if we keep fighting in Liberation Zone, so will Solar's. Clem is long distance mining a gold base while an orbital flies over there, but there's Lings that are going to get on top of it. I think Clem's supply is just not really quite holding on, but somehow, some way, he pushes on through. Oh my goodness. Clem just scanned the top left base. He's like, okay, that's a base you don't have. Trying to figure out what the economy he's playing against looks like. Fungal Growth gets a Ghost, and a couple of the medevacs get hit as well. Okay, Solar back in control of the supply of this game, but if Clem can set up the gold, maybe that ekes him out into a doable kind of scenario once again for a little bit. Has to pull back here. It's a lot of Lings. Solar's going to come fire in a storm up at this gold base. A couple Liberators get siege. We'll pull back to the choke point in the back. And you see the Liberators getting rid of the Infestor. The Hydra's getting caught up in Liberation Zones. Lings looking as though they've overwhelmed though, and the SCVs on this base are going to start going down. We never really mined it properly, and Clem is going to have to tap out. He made a very good effort of getting back into this, but it just wasn't enough. GG's. As we have on the top left-hand side of the map, our red Zerg player, this is going to be from onside. It is Solar, bringing it back in that last game, and then nearly losing it again, but just in general playing some great StarCraft 2. Let's hope we can keep it up going into game 3. Bottom right, Blue Terran. Trixie starting that last game with the build order choice. But it's very nearly done in the end, but just didn't quite finish it up. That was just a great game of StarCraft. In the bottom right, it's Clem from Team Liquid. And he has low ground depoting, which probably means multi-racks Reaper. Of course, we proxied the racks last game. Probably no proxy racks this time around, and instead just go into a much more normal 2 racks back at home. Maybe if he wants to be aggressive, he goes 3rd racks, but not really expecting that to be the plan, quite frankly. There's a couple drones coming up. Hatchery getting going. Refinery on the way. Another rack's going to come down, so that is going to be the double racks that we expected. And we've got ourselves the hatch and the gas all coming through. The couple of barracks all building. There is a spawning pool coming down as well. It's just bringing a lot of this along for the moment here. So again, so far so good. The barracks coming about. Again, hatch, gas, and pool all underways. And a couple of Reapers in the orbital then, all coming out. We do have ourselves the Overlord just working its way down to the bottom side of the map, so just getting that going as well, pretty much immediately. Not really anything surprising. A couple of Queens start up, the Lings are on the way in. And let's see what these couple of Reapers can do as they'll be popping in just a moment or so, and this Overlord is just going to see that it is in fact the 2 racks Reaper. We'll see the CC as well, which confirms there's no 3rd racks in the main. So Solar will know exactly what's up, he'll know what the plan is from Clem's side. Full information for our Zerg to begin with. Things coming around. Reaper will take some shots. Just seeing our Ling's still taking damage, and our Reaper continue to put a bit more damage out as well. So far, so good. Scenes all coming about, getting rolling for the moment. I see a couple of Reapers coming about, not able to do much. Lings come back around again. Again, link speed is about to finish. Couple CCs being built. Just having ourselves a factory coming through, and just in general, these Reapers pulling back home. Not too much in the end. Well, again, all those drones coming out, a couple Queens coming up. Stim Pakistan, a couple Cyclones on the way. Rip is just chilling, then a couple Cyclones about to finish. Stim Pak's on the way through. Again, Queens on the way, the drone's building. Hatchery is about to finish as well. And then Queens chilling out the front a little bit for the moment. Now Cyclones continuing through as well. So just getting those couple Cyclones built up. The reactor is coming in. Again, with the Evo Chambers early, if Clem was to be more aggressive, then that would maybe be something you could take advantage of. Like I said, I still feel like what Clem did early in the last game was absolutely great. It was absolutely, for me, enough. You know, it might not have been game-ending damage, but it definitely put the Zerg in a weird spot where they had no Queens to work from, or anything along those lines, really. A couple Hellions go and join up with them Cyclones, so that all gets joined up together, just for the moment as well. Little engineering bay in the refinery is now on the way through. Couple medevacs in production, just going to be seeing our Marine still building, engineering bays coming out. And see now 1-1 attack upgrades on the melee coming through, the Queens and the drones all producing in. Cyclones, Reapers, and Hellions just going to push up the front. Our Queens will make a bit of a stand there as well, see what they can go up against for a couple of moments. Still our Queens just chilling. And again, the Lings hanging out over on the edges as well for a few more moments. Still pretty much just a case of waiting for those medevacs to pop, and then maybe we'll see a bit more of an interesting push out from Clem. And you look at what he's got, he kind of built the same. He was 2 Hellions less than last time, but still shows the Hellions, still shows the Cyclones, and that maybe gets Solar afraid, right? Because last time Clem really committed through with all of that. This time it's not going to be Hellbats or anything, but like I say, maybe it makes Solar be a little bit more preemptive about what he builds, when in this case it's just not really necessary. So that's already kind of a cool comparison from game 1 to game 2 to game 3 here. Well, SCVs go down. Clem pushing the left side. I don't really see this doing the success it had last time, just because again Queens have plenty of transfusions. You just don't have the Hellbats to be that kind of tanky frontline either. They really value so much time for everything else to deal damage. That's what happened in the last game. Cyclone's pulling back, the Queens are chasing, the Lings are looking to wrap around. The Marines continue to run, the Lings will get a wrap. Medevacs will just load up, and we will see those Lings and Queens continuing to settle. 5 more barracks all coming through. Still got our 1-1 upgrades coming up as well. All those barracks coming up, then the armory coming in. Marines will stem forward, creep team already being picked off. Lings will continue to take damage. And as then Marines load back up into the medevacs. Gonna pull away once again there. Still seeing the 1-1 upgrades coming through as well. Just gonna be seeing extra racks coming up, the reactors coming through. Clem, like I said, just getting little bits of damage. We're not really focused on getting too much. We'll cancel the Baneling. The second one finishes. I'm about to catch up on upgrades as well. Solar will be pretty quick to the 2-2 though, so it's not going to waste too much time on that. Get that going very quickly. And step forward. These Marines start to push the Queens back just a little bit, and we do see the Lingbane continuing around. The medevacs load up. They will back away. More army from Clem coming up the right-hand side, so away we go. 2 melee upgrades still coming in also. Lingbane into the center. And our reactors building from Clem as well. A lot of army up to the top. Lings will wrap around. Marine will go down. The other Marines will fight. And then we will just lift up and back it on up. Queens go get some more creep spread down that left-hand side of the map. So again, getting all of that running here. As Clem keeps on trying to proceed with further damage. Still just trying to press on the left, on the top. But so far, Solar is handling this all pretty darn well. I do say so myself. Clem is amassing a bit more of a push on the left-hand side. That includes some tanks that are going to try and get set up here. Clamkite's back. Some of his units still off creep as well, so how far can Solar chase those Marines? Kind of just tanked the Baneling shot. I think that was okay for Clem, but if he didn't tank that Bane shot, he might have had a few more units to push forward with. Might have been able to just deal with that little Lynx around on his siege tank a little bit more easily. Not the end of the world to have that happen, as we just have scans coming down, the burrows coming up. Marines coming by, gonna grab a Zergling, more Lingbane coming across, couple tanks will be firing away. And as our Banes will continue through, just gonna be seeing the Lingbane continue to run straight on in, and Marines kite backwards, all these Banes going down. A lot of Lings getting picked off. Just gonna be seeing medevacs on the top right-hand side. They're just going to have to peel away for a couple moments as well. And dive in once again. A couple of Banelings target fired, but a couple of them absolutely getting through. Clem actually loses all the Marines pretty much on that one. That was micro gone wrong, unfortunately. That was micro gone very wrong. Yeah, obviously you don't really want to lose all the Marines in that scenario at all, so not ideal. So ourselves set back up again. +2 armor is about to finish up on the side of Clem. Adrenaline Claws still coming through too. Just having ourselves the Adrenaline Glands on the side of Solar. So both players again teching up as we continue deeper into this game. Both players are absolutely looking at this late game as a real possibility. Solar does not have the Lurker Den yet, which is the one thing I'd maybe expect of him sometime shortly. Just on top of whatever, you know, whatever else he's already set him into here, I would say. It's gonna have our bio pushing forward a little bit. Getting onto the edge of the creep spread, the more we push this back, the better. Only 5 bases are sold, and I say only because it doesn't seem impossible for Clem to, you know, step up from 4 bases to 5 soon. Queen's gonna fire up, Lingbane Hydra gonna run in, Bio gonna kite backwards. First Blinding Cloud already hitting a siege tank there, the rest of the Lings and the Banes is coming across. Our Marines will continue to kite away. Clem is losing a lot, and Solar's just rebuilding instantly. On the left side, Clem's not watching, so the Banelings connect in as well. Oh no, this is the sort of attack that's gone so wrong that Solar might just push through for victory. Banes are going to go on top of this planetary fortress as well. We're going to kill that off with ease. Banes left over even, didn't have to use them all. Oh no, this is really bad as we have ourselves. I mean, what GG, I guess, is Solar, you back away, you rebuild, and you go again, but Clem just lost a 4th, he lost a lot of units with it. None of that was beneficial, really, for Clem. Now he's going to be, well, perhaps just going for somewhat of an instant counter-attack. Maybe the best call if you don't have a 4th base. He isn't rebuilding a 4th either. I think Clem's going to be all in on 3 bases, just going to try and make work with what he already has. In we go. A couple Widow Mines get burrowed up. Looks as though Solar will just let those go off, and a couple Lings. Not that big of a deal. Solar having the creep spread as a launching pad for this fight. Banelings get on top of the first group of Marines, no problem at all. Clem's supply plummeting 110 to 182. Solar just keeps on pushing. Another Widow Mine there is going to not fire. Clem types GG. He knows this one is over. And Solar is going to take game 3 of this best of 5. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Zerg player in this best of 5 and taking the lead is going to be Solar from onside. Up against the Blue Terran. Top right, Team Liquid's Clem. Cracks on the high ground, so we're going to step away from the Reaper builds. As we'll be just taking a moment onwards here. Binary finishing, barracks coming up. Spawning pool underway. Spam this party to cheer Woody. Why are you guys cheering me? Can you exploit the lack of a safety Rotoran? Not really, because you can be safe without a Rotoran in CVT. You don't need a Rotoran. You just make Lingbane properly. I mean, Game 2 is an example of that, right? Game 2 is the kind of game where even without a Rotoran, and even with the Lingbane, it was not really prepared, but still was, you know, fell a bit behind. Still brought it back later in the game. Solar's a beast, man. He's very, very good at this matchup. He is very, very good at CVT. Clem goes to 3CC. So at least initially, just going to be pretty macro focused. Maybe we'll get that creep team, I think. Oh, he hit the queen instead, so that's going to take away the opportunity. Maybe wouldn't have had it anyways, but would have been nice to try, right? To actually have a good chance of going for it. All good, not the end of the world. As this Reaper moves along over to the right-hand side. Single link. Gonna get blasted by a couple Hellions. Gonna be seeing our Banshee coming up. Couple SCVs coming through. Hellions back around in the center. Last still building for a little while longer. First time I've seen Solar play lab for Evo Chambers. Noteworthy difference. Oh, and Nidus. It's actually going to get super aggressive here for this game number 4. First Overlord down. Oh, there is a corner Clem does not see, but he's moving Marines back over there. Okay, Clem's in the right place to spot the Nidus coming in. That's a big helping hand, if nothing else. And that really is a big step in the right direction, because there's no guarantee that that was going to be the case. Now you'll see the Nidus. Can you stop it from coming out? The Overlord will move forward. Like I say, Clem is well positioned. Lings run into the natural. Oh no, the Nidus is going up no matter what, because the Lings are going to support it. Disaster, absolute disaster. This is awful for Clem, whose Banshee is off across the map. This Nidus is going to finish. Here come the Hellions showing back up. The Queens are going to get out. Oh, no, the Queens went in the front. There we go. Queens start popping out now. Nidus will indeed survive. The Banshee goes down early. Can Hellions be enough here? There's a lot of SCVs already being killed. That is it. GG's. Clem is going to drop down dead. To the Nidus play. Solar takes it 3-1.